Hello everybody. If I happen to sneeze during this live, it's because for some reason, due to all the rain we have, I got some allergies again, but hopefully it won't get too bad. Okay, hi Anita. So, as I said, hold on, I forgot to get something. No, I cannot get it from here. I always forget stuff. Hi Karen, hi Rika. What was I saying? Yeah, I woke up in the last 2 days at like between 3 and 3:30 because of all the kinds of weather we've been having here. This morning it was like 3:30 when my weather stuff started dinging because we had a flood warning, and yeah, I don't know if it was just too much and coming from the side, because I have some vents on the roof, you know, where the furnace is and where the bathroom is. Anyways, thing is that there was water dripping in the attic, and from the attic, you know, the attic hatch, in my hole. So Sunday I cannot get anybody to come, my roofer. I don't know if he's going to be able to come anytime this week, because it's supposed to rain for at least a week, and that's going to mean more money. So anyway, hi Darla, hi Sharon, hi Adelaide. But you know, I've been trying to stay up. The problem with me is that when I normally wake up between 4:30 and 5, and if something wakes me up close to my normal waking time, I cannot fall asleep again. Well, yeah, but again, like happened yesterday with my sponsors, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep on. And another funny bit, I think I ordered at least 4 packages of those little watch gears and stuff, you know, for steampunk stuff, and I cannot find them. And because I couldn't find them, about, don't know, a month ago, I ordered another one from Trish from PolyClay. And as I was getting ready to get it here, to have it ready, guess what? I cannot find it. So, hi Jessica. I am glad you made it, Elaine. So we might try other things, but again, it's gremlins. And it wasn't Finnegan, because that was in a little box, so I very much doubt that he did that. So anyway, let's get on. I'm trying to find these on Amazon so I can show them to you. I got them from Wish, and it took, I don't know, like 3 months. They're only like $1 something. But I didn't get them as much as inclusions as for another project of mine, and I'm not gonna tell you what, because that's supposed to be a surprise. But in the meantime, another thing that I've been experimenting with are the little devil cat that I'm trying to get in all kinds of iridescent effects, and I'm getting ready to start taping a tutorial with it. So that's it. I hope you liked the last one. I'm glad you made it, Gail. And be aware that I'm preparing another turquoise tutorial. Okay? Now, in the meantime, what I want to experiment with you here is, I have this in the influencer store, and I know that it works great with casting. But what I want, because before I did amber with a type of pigment that I got from somewhere in Australia that you cannot find on Amazon. But I knew these, and I used them in casting resin. But I guess we are going to try and do some amber. Because remember when I did the amber with the little, with those earrings and pendant I did with, whatchamacallit, the liquid clay lace-like thingies. Let me actually look for it so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. And I did that for amber in that. Let me grab the link so I can put it on the chat. Yeah, that's pretty much when I got it too, Cindy, only that I just didn't get around to do it. I mean, with everything that was going on. Okay, this one, if you remember it. Let me see. These ones, and I showed you how to do amber using, come on, no Finnegan, using the regular colored resin that I have. And yeah, I do have to get some more pigments, but for now it's going to be a little bit of a pause, because as I said, I found myself for June in a bind budget-wise, because one of my issues is some brain fog that is about the memory. But it's not only that. With my car tags, normally the Department of Motor Vehicles sends you about a month prior to it expiring, sends you a notice in the mail. And they didn't send one this year, so somehow in May I remembered, and I was like, oh my god, let me go pay my car tag. And guess what? They didn't send it last year either, but last year I didn't remember, so I had to pay like $125 for the late fee and the tag for last year plus the tag for this year, so I was a little bit in a dip. So if I need to fix the roof, I'm gonna be in a dip in July too. So I normally don't talk about that, but you know, remember I have a wish list on Amazon. So if you feel like you have any kind of little money extra, you can get me something, or just use the donate button on my website or on my blog, and even $5 count. So I can get some more pigments, because I want to experiment some more with these. Hi Sarah. Anyway, let's get to that, because I'm done begging. I usually, you know, that I don't ask for stuff like that, and I hate it when I see people saying that every freaking time they upload or go on a live. But I mean, I don't know, I don't like it, and I hate begging. But of course people need, you know, I mean, in order to do all these tutorials you need to invest a lot, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And with me, all the money that I make on affiliate, you know, that with PolyClay Play, I get all the extra, I do it in giveaways, and the rest, you would be amazed how much I have to spend on supplements because of my health condition. And even with my thyroid medication, I cannot get it from the pharmacy, because I cannot take Synthroid. The one that I need is Armor, and Medicare or Medicaid do not cover Armor. So it costs me less to get it from New Zealand than it costs me to get it through the pharmacy. Anyway, I'm sure that all of you have all these kind of issues, and this is not why I made the live, but I'm a little bit frustrated. The whole thing with the roof leaking made me frustrated. So let's first try and do some amber. And what I'm going to do is, obviously, first let me zoom in so you can see better what I'm doing. Because if you see better what I'm doing, you know how to do it better, right? I'm not gonna zoom in super close because then you don't see what else I'm doing around. So let's go ahead first, and as I said before, normally I don't mix the UV resin. I have no idea why. It's pretty much kind of the same price, but I don't like mixing UV resin in little cups with various stuff, because it seems to me that I'm wasting a lot of resin that stays in the cup, you know. So when I have to just mix stuff, just plain pigment, there's no inclusions in there. And the other thing that I wanted to show you, because I'm preparing to make some videos also with casting resin. I think I'm going, oh, it's got a little thing here. So this is amber, and you find these pigments in my influencer store. So here we're gonna see if it works with, oh, I didn't, duh. So we're gonna see how it works with UV resin. And there's all kinds of colors in the influencer store, and it's for both polyester and epoxy. The UV resin is epoxy. At least I haven't seen a UV resin that would be polyester or any other kind. But you'll see that there is some casting resin in the influencer store that I put up there. Okay, so what you want to do is to not mix it completely, because real amber has some variations of color that look a little bit like filaments. One other thing that I usually do whenever I'm doing faux amber in resin is I would put a jar lid with some vinegar out on the porch and let it be for a few hours, and then there's a whole bunch of gnats, fruit flies, that come there, and those are really neat to put in as, you know, insects from the Paleozoic. So this one I'm going to give it a little bit more. And the other thing that you don't have to worry whenever you do faux amber in resin is air bubbles. Now, I'm kind of miffed that I didn't get any kind of air bubbles, because amber does have air bubbles. And you can even put a drop or two, even a black. It's not unheard of. There are some variations of color in amber because it's sap, and what you have to think is that as sap drips on the bark of a tree, it catches all kinds of impurities, but not only that, there's all kinds of stuff in the atmosphere, and it can oxidize. So depending on the composition of the sap and as well as the atmosphere and whatever it catches in, the colors can vary. Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting all kinds of stuff like this. Now, I got that in the oven, in the lamp. So let's go. As I said, I did find, hi Panda, I did find, and let me show you. Number one, I added an extra section in my influencer store because I was asked about this for doll makers, and as you can see, I put first some there's a book, and I'm gonna look for more books, but I put some armature wire, then some sculpting tools, and I have to add some more on that, and then clay, obviously including the Japanese clay. I even add the epoxy sculpt, the air dry one, because some people prefer to work on that. Then various glass eyes, and yes, you can make your own eyes, and I did have for a long time in plan to show you how to make eyes for dolls using polymer clay and liquid polymer clay or resin for the dome, then eyelashes, then hair, and all kinds of little wings. But to get past that, let me show you what I found in the jewelry findings. Was it this one? No, I put them in resin. Duh. Open bezels. I created a separate thing, open bezels. I created a separate section. And these are the things that I found the closest to what I'm showing you here. Because as I said, what I got, this was from AliExpress. And but there are some similar things that you can always try and do open bezels. Plus, I found some really cute ones with, and if I ever get to this, I want to do some turtles. And as you can see, there's some butterflies. I have some butterflies here and there, and here some of these gel pads, and a little kit that's got both open bezels and all kinds of flower inclusions. So to get back to our thing, let's go ahead and stick this on a sticky pad so that I can pour resin on it without the resin seeping underneath. In the meantime, let's check our amber. Looks pretty good. I do need to clean this part. And why I added these, because as you can see, it's transparent, but as I said, I used it before only in, I made a mess, only in casting resin, not in UV resin. So I made a mess because I put the lid on here. Sorry, but this needs to be done now because there's no need to tell you how. On what? Because I remember that I get a little bit of a delay in the chat, because that's how I set it, so that you wouldn't have to buffer. And now I'm going to set this back in the oven to make sure, in the lamp, to make sure that the top is well. Because it's a little bit thick. So I just want to make sure it's okay. You're talking about the earrings thingies, the open bezels, or the flowers, or these, Cindy? Because I'm not sure. The other thing that I'm going to do some coasters with casting resin. And one thing that I want to attempt, and you'll find these in the resin section of the influencer store, all the way on the these, yeah, I don't know, it didn't say 50. I didn't even open this yet. I thought that it's just one, but it was, I told you, it was just $1 or so. Yeah, it's just one. So 5, 15, there are 19 of them, not so. I don't know, I'll probably have to get more, and maybe have, if everything goes good, maybe have Trish, if possible, get it in her store. But what I wanted to show you is this. So you get this in a set with a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know how many of you have watched. There are some resin artists who do a type of, if you can call it, 3D painting on resin. Like, for example, they get a bowl, and then they put a little bit of resin on the bottom of the bowl, and then they start painting, like a quarter painting a goldfish, and then they put a little bit more resin, and then they paint another section of the goldfish, and then they put more resin, and it goes like, I don't know, like 10 different things. But the final effect is that you see actually that fish like if it was in 3D. So you can get these sets. I don't know how this is. Like this. I was looking at them and it got, well, maybe they're not in perfect shape. But I'm going to be able to show you a little bit how this whole thing works. And there are several sets here with goldfish and with betta fish. Oh, the ones looking like this. The ones looking like this. Yeah, that's the thing that I found the closest. So anyway, to get back to this, so it kind of shows you, not on here, but I have somewhere it comes with the instructions, and I wasn't supposed to get this out. Oh dear. With instructions how to put these one on top of the other, on top of the other. So as I said, there are several sets to create a 3D like goldfish. So let me see, I think it was like this. I'm trying to find the exact sets, but this is exactly what it does. It does the same effect as that painting in layers does. I'm trying to find the same. Okay, so, and with putting just these one on top of the other doesn't tell you much, but once you do it on resin, it will show exactly how it's supposed to look like. As I said, there are several sets here, and I was looking at them and I messed them up. I mixed them. So I don't know. Anyway, something like this. And after you put them, because this whole thing is completely transparent when you put it on resin. But what I wanted to do like a preview today, because you also get some plants See, as I said, there are several different. It actually tells you how to put them. It's numbered. On some of them it's numbered. And these are real goldfish, not red goldfish. They are not in the exact same positions. But as I was saying, you do have some plants as well. So you're able to do some plants, and as I said, I want to do some coasters with this, but in the meantime we're going to play a little bit with these smaller plants that are here that actually fit in that open bezel. Get these back. See, there's a reason you've seen me always very, I don't want to say the word starting with an A and then ending with an AL, but there's a reason, not only that I'm a little bit OCD, but also if I don't put stuff back where it belongs, I forget where I put it. I'm glad you made it, Galen. Okay, so let's get this away for the moment, and let's try. First of all, let me get the amber out. And again, if it doesn't get shiny enough, you can always use that UV gel to get it shinier. But as you can see, it's very amber-like, and it does work just fine with UV resin. So look at the size of these things. Honestly, except for the amber that I wouldn't want to mess up with too much, I would only get the primaries and maybe black and white, because I can do everything else. But this is a set that I really need to get in time. Okay, so good stuff to do amber, huh? No. And let me show you what I played with my sponsors yesterday, how to make clouds. See, these are little clouds in 3D, of course, in 3D. But that's another surprise that I'm going to show you. Anyway, so let's get back to this. And no, I don't intend to do a 3D painting. I'm just going to use a few of these just to make stuff pretty. So, with my eyeglasses, let's start. First, let's put an inclusion. And again, I'm so sorry that I cannot find my tweezers, that I cannot find my whatchamacallit, my clockwork thingy. And another thing that I realized I forgot in a long time, because if I don't have, I need a secretary, honestly. Somebody to grab my attention. And see, that's another good thing with these little silicone pads. I need somebody to remind me stuff, right? And I'm looking for stuff like this with the fish that would be smaller, so they can be put in pendants as well. But another thing that I didn't do in that little group I opened, even if I don't normally like groups, and you'll know that. But I do have a little group on Facebook. That's Days Playground. I usually get once a month. I post a link to one of my former sponsor lives, and I realized that I didn't do that in a few months, so I need to get in there and, you know, get back on track. Okay, so let's give it a little bit of UV resin first. You know what, I'm gonna put a little bit, some of these tiny, I have these microbeads. So let's use a little bit of the, a transparent doesn't really work very good. So let us go for a almost sand-like thing. So let me get the white gold. And as I was saying before, the thing with these little gel pad thing is that you can put stuff on the bottom, and because they are completely transparent, you can flip them over once you get the UV resin on the top. You can flip them over and get the stuff back in the, and let's get another color too, cause to make it pretty, make it happy. Let's get some nut green, let's get some red. And you can see how good my hands work. Not. And most of the microbeads will stick to the gel pad. Just make sure that if you have any that are on the stickers, you move them on the gel pad from the stickers, because otherwise you see how they roll around. So make sure that you got none of the microbeads. If you use microbeads, you got none of them on the stickers. So let's go ahead and give it some UV resin, not a lot of it, because I want to use something else. Always from the center out. Come on. And bring it all the way to the edge. If you think you need this more zoomed in, let me know. So I did make a little bit of a mess. I went a little bit over here. A. Okay, so let's get this in the lamp and grab another one to play with. This one is a little bit messed up. So on this one we're gonna use a color. Let's see, what I didn't ever work with in these things would be, I used forest green. Not brown. Green, maybe purple. I didn't really use much purple, did I? Okay, I'm gonna use some purple. But because I have sticky stuff now, I'm going to pre-color. Or maybe I can just use the purple. As I said, this is not actual pigment, it's more of a already colored UV resin. I'm going to directly use some of this resin. One thing that I noticed on some of the other brands of UV resin that you can find on Amazon, like this one, right? They don't get as many bubbles as the, you know, like Lisa Pavelka or even the regular Ciao Ciao. And I did find out that the Chinese Ciao Ciao, the one that most of us use, does have a 12 months shelf life. So that's why mine hardened, because I bought it more than 12 months ago. And then stuff got in the way and I didn't manage to get to do what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's keep working on this. It's more like lilac than purple, honestly. But you can use all kinds of stuff. And once again, because I know that question keeps coming back all the time. Can you use alcohol inks to color UV resin? Sometimes. And you really need to experiment with it, because alcohol ink has there's some alcohol ink that has opaque pigments, and there's some alcohol, oops, look what I did, some alcohol ink that has transparent pigments. So this is one thing that I completely messed up. I don't know, I just wanted to open it, to open the little flap, not the whole thing, but well, I guess it can be vacuumed. And that I messed up this pad. These will not come out from the pad. They are going to get embedded in here. This pad is so sticky. Okay. It still wants to come out, the whole thing. And it doesn't have a screwy thing. So let's go just to plain some of these. And let me try the, normally translucent stuff doesn't really show up on resin, but let's see. Let's try it a little bit and see. Okie dokie. Now this can go in the lamp and we can continue working with the other one while this one gets cured. Okay. It's nice and good. And you can leave it thin like this, or you can add one more layer. So what are we going to add on it? I did bring these other ones. So, and one, no, I'm gonna still want to use the stickies. So let's use a larger sticky. Let's use this one. And can you imagine a fish in this? I mean, you can do a fish. I'm gonna do a little bit of a water thing. Yeah, but as I said, Darla, you don't know if it's going to work for the resin. You need to do experiments. You really need to experiment with this. Otherwise, you don't know if it's going to work or not. So this is fairly simple. And then I'm going to bring another type of inclusion here in a minute. As I said, I don't always manage to find room on the table for everything that I need to work in a live tutorial. Some pearls would work beautiful in here, but I don't have tiny pearls. So let's get it back in here. And let's grab one of these. These pretty much look like lace, honestly. So, I think it might need water, maybe. It needs water. Yeah, I guess it needs water. Yeah, it needs a cotton pad that was wetted in warm water. Well, give me just a second. Yeah, that might work. Thank you, Elaine. Alrighty, and cut the shape that you need. So let's cut this one. It says leave it for 20 or 30 seconds. Okay, so these are sliders. Pretty much like the Lisa Pavelka stuff. Actually, I do have some there that we can have fun with. Do we have 20 seconds? Let's see. No, it doesn't slide yet. Oh, the whole thing slides, not just. It doesn't stick though much. Oh yeah, it does. It did stick. But it lifts. Give me a second. I think I know what I can do, but I don't have the thing here. It's not here. What did I do with my UV gel? Top coat UV gel. This is ridiculous. What did I do with the thing? I'm telling you, gremlins. No, I don't find the thing. Oh, there it's the thing. Okay, let's give it just a pinch of this. Kind of want it right in the middle of this. Okay, let's get it in the lamp. And I'm going to place this in the lamp on the other side flipped. So I'm going to put this plastic here so it doesn't stick on the whole thing, and then place it on the UV light on the other side, because that should work, right? And I keep looking for stuff that I can use. But anyway, you got the whole idea on how to use, even when you use inclusions that might not be. Yeah, there's a, they don't separate just this, the whole thing separates, the whole plastic that's on, that they are on, separates. That's what threw me off. They are supposed to go on your fingernails, apparently. They don't get off that plastic. It's not how the whole thing works. Alright, so this one is ready. And I need to grab the other one first to flip it. To make sure that what I put behind the flower gets a. And of course I can mix some flakes or something in it, but let's take a look at this one and see if it got completely cured. So the back is perfect, the front is perfect. Let's go ahead and unglue it, which is the worst part. And you need a little bit of strength. Hey, and you can leave that there. You need to get the resin as well, not just the frame. It happened to me before, and this thing is super sticky, right? But that way you can actually make, if you have these things and you don't want to actually keep the bezel, you just want to keep a shape, you can completely remove the, hold on, if you didn't go overboard here. Oh, come on, get off. It's my hands. Remember, I told you I don't have a lot of. There we go. See, you can do just the shape. There we go. And you will have to wipe the back with a little bit of alcohol just to get rid of all the sticky residue. But of course you can keep it with the bezel. Your best bet is to just, if you want to keep it with the bezel and keep it in one piece, your best bet is to actually put another layer and go a little bit over the edges, you know, like when you put another layer here before you take it off. You put another layer of the, did I get this right? Of the UV resin, and you go just like a pinch over the open bezel if you want to keep the bezel. But you can see how pretty it is with or without the bezel. It's just fabulous. And another thing that I would get, I would look for all kinds of transparent or less transparent stickers, or at least stickers that are on a transparent base like these little plants are, because you can make all kinds of whatchamacallit, even landscapes and stories and stuff. And I'm going to look for more this afternoon, because I've seen some with butterflies and all kinds of other stuff. Now I'm going to get this one overboard so that it doesn't come off. And let me bring it, starting to drop things. Whenever you start seeing me dropping things, that's a signal that I'm starting to mess up, and it's the paint starting to stop. Okay, so we're gonna give it a little bit of sparkler. Remember the American glitter, I think that's, or the body art, everything that they have is non-toxic because they use it to face paint and body paint and all that. So let's give it first some UV resin. And as I said, this time I'm going to go a little bit over the border so I can keep the open bezel. there. Here's my scoop. I need a scoop. You can get these little scoops at Trish's store. Yeah, that would be nice. Didn't you just get a 3D printer? So as I said, you can get these from PolyClay. So this is a sparkler. It's not really glitter, but it's not mica powder either. They are called sparklers. And remember, with American Glitter, you can get, I'm not affiliated with them or anything. And this is the Spirit. And you cannot see very well. I'm going to change the hue of the my light, because remember that my light is made for, and I made a mess here. I'm going to have to go all the way to the edge of the bezel. I normally don't. Yeah, I do have a little hole here, but you can always drill a hole. I put a little bit too much UV resin there. As I said, when I start hurting, I start making mistakes, so. Let's put this back in here real quick. So as I was saying, American Body Art has a whole bunch of these sparklers that are not really, let me change the light. They are not really, not here, and they are not really glitter, and they are not really mica powder, and they have the elements. It's fire, water, earth, and they have 5 because one of them is the Spirit, but they are all fabulous. Hold on, I think I still have a few. I know I've sent a whole bunch of these out whenever I did, so I'll have to. These are 2 sparklers, 2 extra sparklers. This is the fire. I'm trying to show the. This one has more of a goldish reddish. Still not showing that perfect. Let me try something else. Okay, here, now it can give you a better. Yeah, and remember with the American Body Art, the thing is that you can buy, of course, the little bags. See, sparkler rose quartz and another sparkler blue topaz. But you can buy these little things that are only 99 cents, and trust me, there's quite a bit of stuff in it. This is pretty good. I didn't mix all of it. So the same thing for this one. I'll have to turn it on the other side, flip it over, and make sure that it gets. But with it being done like this, you don't have to worry about, yeah, I need to put another layer, about the bezel coming off. If you confine yourself only on the inside of the bezel, that's what I forgot to tell you from the beginning, chances are that the bezel will pop out. But that's the whole idea. And you can use all kinds of other stuff on these. You can use, if you have a low, not very tall cutter, that works great. If you find all kinds of, you know, you can use like the ring of a keychain instead of an opal bezel, and that would work great. You can basically make your own shapes as long as you have these gel pads. Just remember, it takes a little bit of strength to take stuff off of them. As long as you have these little gel pads, you can confine everything that you have within the... Okay, now you can see better than in the bag. So this is the spirit. You can see how pretty it is. And the fire goes like reddish and gold. So there we go. You can get all kinds of effects. So I am preparing to put up at least one resin tutorial that I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make it UV or casting resin, but there's going to be a casting resin for some coasters, at least one, if not two. I'll have to see how things are, because as I said, we are expecting a ton. Packing tape doesn't work as good. I tried the packing tape. It didn't work as good as the gel pads. And the gel pads are not that super expensive. Hold on. Let me tell you exactly how much they are. So I'll get on the display again. So to get back to what we were talking about, remember the whole resin thing on my influencer store. You have first the casting resin, that might be polyester and even fiberglass, and then the UV resin, hard, and then the soft UV resin, colored UV resin, then pigments. And there are several. These ones I didn't. The Resin Obsession, I did not try these, so I would have to get me some. But this is the amber that I just used for these amber things. And then there's more pigments. And remember, if the bottle is black, that means it's a UV resin pigment. If the bottle has any other color, it's not a UV resin. So these are the ones that I use, and they are more pretty much colored UV resin. I should put them a little bit higher. Then these are the gel pads. As you can see, this is only $7, and you get 5 pieces for $6.10. This is the kind that I got, and then I got another kind. I think these ones. Let's see, because it would tell. No, not these ones. These ones are 13 for a 10 pack. $10 for 15 of them. As I said, sometimes I have stuff that's that you'll see several of them. But that means that I put several of them because price on Amazon might change. Okay, and as I said, you have some humidity measurement, humidity and temperature measuring gizmo here. And then another thing that you kind of need for UV resin is this little labels. And then another thing that I found, because somebody kept asking me, and I said I must not forget to mention it. Somebody kept asking me, how can I make molds for resin? And I actually looked, and I actually found kits for making silicone molds for resin, special for resin. They are a little bit expensive, but if you want to make your own molds, there you go. If you don't want to spend a whole bunch of stuff, you can use the Oyumaru even for resin. So you remember I did a video one time about the Oyumaru thing. That's that plasticky jello-like thing that you put in warm water. There you go, the devil cats. And they also have some dragons I found, and some more normal cats and owls and stuff. I found a Pegasus and some dragon and the goldfish. But what was I saying? I lost it. But yeah, with the Oyumaru is that transparent thing that you put in warm water. It gets soft, and then you can press it against whatever you want to take a mold of, and as it cools off, it becomes a mold. So you can use Oyumaru for making resin molds, right? So let me know in the comments, or I'm going to post something on the community tab, if you want to continue with resin, or if you want next Sunday to be something else. I don't know, maybe a cane. Okay, hi CJ. So thank you so much for being here with me. Don't forget to thumbs up, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And have a happy what's left of Sunday. I'm going to go back to my rainy complaining of the rain stuff thingy, and I shall see you all next Sunday. Okay, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I shall see you next week. Bye.